Hey, what's going on, guys? Just got back from taking the STI out. Man, this thing is so fun. I love driving it. Today I also got the Supra off the car dollies and took it around the block, and so far so good. Just make sure there's no leaks, cross fingers, because there was, but it was a dumb thing. So let's check it. No leaks. Perfect. So what I was talking about is when I was putting the headlights in, I didn't put the overflow tank in, and I started it, and coolant started coming out. Imagine that. So, what are we doing today? I'm going to be installing the HKS blow-off valve that Tyler gave me. Well, so far gave me. We'll square up, I'm sure. But one of my favorite blow-off valves, and it is legit. If you can see the hologram, I can see it in real life there. I'm looking at it right now. So in order to tell it's a real HKS, there's variations of things, but one of them is a hologram there, and I do see it. And here is the adapter for the blow-off valve port on the intercooler. So first things first, this was off his GTR. I am running 2 of these on the Supra, and they sound incredible. So I got to take it off this adapter for the GTR, and then Tyler could probably sell these, and I'm going to put it on this guy and then bolt it to the Subaru. And then also when I'm doing that, I'm going to put my silicone hoses on that I never got to put on yet. So yeah, I'll take you guys along. All right, guys, so I got it in the new flange. Now, in my experience, these do move around, not like totally freely, but if you put a little pressure on them, they will move around. I personally put a little lube on the O-ring on the other side. So that could be why. I've never had them leak on me. But what I did is I took the R35 flange, put it in here, and I tried using my 2 pliers here that are made for snap rings, but both of them didn't stretch far enough like this. So I used my bent needle nose pliers that worked like an absolute charm. So if you don't have the proper tools, you can improvise and use these. Just be careful on the flange and don't mark it up. So when that came out, this was in there, and I did the same. So you want to make sure that the snap ring seats properly in the groove in the flange, like so, right? So make sure everything's clean too before you put it on your intercooler. So there's that. What I did is with the needle nose too is don't put your fingers in there, because it can take skin off. So squeeze them and then guide it with the screwdriver into the groove on the flange. So there's the factory blow-off valve. Now I have a mint condition gasket on that already, and I don't want to take it off. However, I do have one here, but I hate using parts if I don't need it. And I guess this would kind of call for it, right? So yeah, I'm going to replace that. I don't know which way it's going to point. Tyler's car, we had trouble with clocking it. So again, when you do put it in, try to clock it in somewhat of the right direction. I know on Tyler's car it was this way. So that's kind of where I put it in case I have to move it, right? So here goes nothing. All right, friends, intercooler is off. So with the JDM STIs, we have that strut bar from factory. So that does have to come off in order to pull the intercooler up and out. And this is what she looks like. So I did have some blow-by in the intercooler, which is perfectly normal. There is going to be some oil vapors that still get into the turbo inlet, obviously. I should check my catch can. But it was way less than when I first got it. So I know the catch can is working, which is awesome. Yeah, so there's not much to see back here. Here's the rock hard hose. I don't know if I'm going to replace this just yet. I'm humming and hawing about this. The factory blow-off valve hose. Just because it's a pain in the neck to mate over there. But once it's done, right? So maybe I'll just do it. I'll put the plug in and just do it. Another thing that I'm thinking about is my gas. All right, guys, already ran into problem one. So I had to cut down this hose. As you can see, there's about 2 inches off the end that goes on the Tomei inlet. And that's the risk you run with ordering cheaper silicone. But I think this kit was supposed to fit everything. So maybe there is something out there that is 2 inches longer. But a little trick of the trade is you put a worm clamp around it and you can cut it somewhat straight. I've done way better jobs than this, but right now you don't even see it, so I don't really care. I just want it to fit, so that's my main goal. And then you burn the rope, cauterize the rope, cauterize the wounds. But yeah, I'm gonna throw this on now, try to. All right guys, I ditched the whole putting this on idea. It's taken too long. Eventually I could get this to work or use the factory hose that is rock hard, but originally that's why I ordered that. So what I did do is I wanted to use this plug, but it will just not go in there nice. So I'm fighting it. So what I ended up doing is I used the plug that came with the other kits. That is a lot smaller than this plug, as you can see, but it fit in there nice, and I think I have a nice seal. So you can see the head of it there. And just the angle this hose is extremely, yeah, I know I gotta tighten that, but it's extremely hard to get anything in there but that black plug. So I'm gonna leave it as is and check it. I'm sure it'll be fine though. If worst case scenario comes, I either have to put that in there somehow, maybe oil it up a bit, and make this fit. But I'm going to now put the blow-off valve on. I've decided that I think I'm just going to cut that off the gasket and just have it nice O-ring seal on that guy. And we should be good to go, folks. It just cleans it up like there's nothing hanging around there, right? So that's kind of why I went that route. I would have liked to have had that there for ease of putting it back together if I had to, but I am not. So here we are. But yeah, I'm going to try and fit the blow-off valve to the intercooler now, and hopefully that goes a lot smoother. All right, guys, now that it's the next day, I just wanted to put this in the video to show you why I chose not to run the HKS setup here. So here's the blow-off valve. You know, I spent 3 hours under the car just trying to perfect everything, get the hoses to fit, get a cap in there, all to put this on the intercooler and find out that there's no way in hell that that is going to seal. So I decided to hedge my frustrations and the risk of leaking because I know it's going to leak, and I am, you know, not running this on the car for those reasons. So, and just loosey-goosey. So that's why I went back to stock. Hey guys, it's been about an hour and a half. I'm just gonna turn off my radio here. It's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours of me bent over the car, trying to put that hose on right there, the red hose. I know I said that I wasn't going to do it, but after trying to put the HKS blow-off valve on here, it just wasn't threading in nice. And you have to position it a perfect way, and I couldn't find that perfect way without essentially getting rid of this bar. And we did that on Tyler's car, and I totally forgot about it. So not only that, but the factory blow-off valve, it's calculated in the math already. So everything should be flowing pretty much stock. I'm just making sure that the hose looks okay because it's a little kinked, but that's okay. And that's just because the hose should have been a little shorter up at the snout of the blow-off valve, which, again, it doesn't look like it's too bad. The air will go back in, so that's all I care about. At a later date, I will shorten that hose for the snout. It's a good thing I had my brand new factory gasket, because the old one is here, and it looked like people dabbed silicone on it of some sort. So this came off nice. I'm gonna keep it. It looks like it is a metal in the middle. So I'll keep that. I'm gonna clean all this up tomorrow because it was just a disaster today. None of these fit properly. This one's too loose, this one's too tight, and the angle to get in to that area is just atrocious. I have people messaging me on Instagram, which is Super Beast 3 where the E is. Nice plug, eh? But they are messaging me, asking me how I did this hose, and they're all stuck on that part too. That is by far the worst part of it all, is that blow-off valve entry piece is just angled too far this way underneath the manifold where it should be this way. It should be clocked. So I literally spent 2 hours trying to put that hose on, and that's that's the best you're gonna get. So that's why I didn't install this beautiful HKS. Oh, on top of that, this is really loose, sitting in this flange. When it was bolted down to the intercooler, it felt very loose, and I could move the flange was stuck, but I could move the HKS blow-off valve just up and down and side to side. It was not ideal. So here I am stock, but it wasn't a full waste because I did replace that hose from a blue one, and you can see that it is twisting just a tad, and that's because of the blow-off valve hose situation. And I just want to make sure that it is not tugging on that coolant hose for the throttle body. And it doesn't appear to be, but I'm sure you guys can see what I'm saying here. So there it is, and right behind here is that coolant passage hose. And I think it's okay. I think so. Yeah, there's not much tension on it at all, so I can still move it with my finger and everything. So it's been a very tiring day, and it doesn't feel like I got very far, but you know, it is what it is. I'm kind of glad I did it, because then now this is done, and you can see the clamp is in a nice position, and everything seems to be kosher and agreeing with one another. So that is good. Very, very good. So the next time I take the intercooler off, I'm going to cut that hose up, make it shorter, and everything should just be peachy keen. But I'm going to end the video here. That is why I failed today at putting the HKS on, is because of all the reasons I listed. And I'm just a tired person right now. So I'm going to go to bed, have a shower, go to bed. And I will see you all later. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. All right, peace.